Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to lesson 6. And today we're going to be talking about mixed numbers and improper fractions. And for our lesson objective, you really want to be able to convert between those two. So be able to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction and vice versa. Improper fraction to mixed number. We're going to start off today with a little bit of vocabulary. First off, improper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is greater than, I'm going to use a sign here, greater than, or equal to the denominator. And a proper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. An example of that would be like 3/4. 3 is less than 4. A numerator is greater than, that would be like 5/4 would be an improper fraction. Okay, so that's the difference. And I think most of you have a decent understanding of that. Let's see what it looks like in an example. So for example 1, we're first going to use models, and then we'll use division. So a couple different methods that we'll try here. So first off, here's what it looks like if I were to model this. Ella hiked for 9/4 of an hour yesterday. They want us to write 9/4 as a mixed number. Well, how can you write that using a model? Well, think about we're dealing with fourths here. So we're going to draw squares into 4 sections. So you'll see here, this is a square with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. And each one of these is worth 1/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. They repeated it here. We have more fourths. A box divided into fourths. Okay, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And lastly, one more divided into fourths. And how many fourths do we have? Well, there are 9 of them. So we shade 9 of them. Shade 9 of the sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how we come up with 9/4, right? Then it wants us to write it as a mixed number. Well, how many whole squares do we have? This whole square is shaded, and this whole square is shaded. So there are 2 whole squares that are shaded, and 1/4 square in the last square. There's just 1 out of the 4 shaded. So in other words, I have 2 holes and 1/4 shaded. All right, that's what it looks like in a model. The other method that you could use would be just to use division. Remember that 9/4 is the same thing as 9 divided by 4, which is the same thing as 9 divided by 4 this way in long division. Remember, your top number goes inside. Okay, so divide the numerator by the denominator. 4 goes into 9 how many times? 2 whole times, and 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract, and you'd be left with 1. So to form the fraction part of the quotient, use the remainder, which is, the remainder in this case is 1. Use that as the numerator, and the divisor as the denominator. So remember, the divisor is this number. So 1 is our remainder, that's our numerator, and our divisor is 4, that's our denominator. You'll notice I got the same exact answer when I used a model there. Okay, go ahead, flip to the back. Let's see another example. It says, write 3 2/3 as an improper fraction. It's nice because they included a little bit of a model here for you as a reminder. So method 1, we can use a model. You can draw a diagram to illustrate the whole and fractional parts. Again, we're broken up into thirds. So here's a box broken up into thirds. Let's change colors here. 1, 2, 3 sections. All right. How many thirds are there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 thirds here. Or you could write that as 11 over 3. Okay. Because there's 3 wholes, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 of those thirds shaded in. All right. So that's how you can use a model to write this as an improper fraction. The key is breaking your squares down into thirds. Right? The other way that you could think about that is by using this model here. This guy is pretty important. I might star him. Okay? When you change a mixed number to an improper fraction, spiral clockwise as shown in the picture. So you start with your denominator and you multiply by your whole number. Okay? The order of operations will help you remember to multiply before you add. So first you would do 3 times 3, and then you would add the numerator to that. Okay? So multiply the whole number by the denominator, which shows right here, whole number times denominator, and add the numerator. Lastly, keep the same denominator. All right, so 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2, 9 plus 2 would give you 11, and keep the same denominator of 3. Okay, so you'll see that we got the same answer as we did from using a model. I tend to use this more often because it's a little bit quicker, but this is a very good visual representation as well. All right, lastly, finish by doing the 2 check it out problems. Please pause the video first and then come back to check and see if you got the same answer. All right, number 1, Arnold biked for 7/4 hours yesterday. Write it as a mixed number. Okay, well, this means 7 divided by 4. 4 goes into 7 one time, which is 4. Subtract, I'd be left with 3. So this is my numerator, 3, and my divisor is my whole number, 4ths. So you should come up with 1 3/4. And for the second one, improper fraction, 3 times 4 would give me 12, plus 1 is 13, and keep my same denominator of 3. All right, that does it for this lesson. Kind of short and sweet. Please let me know if you have more questions on converting between mixed numbers and improper fractions. I will see you next time.